Right, this is the next part of the process. So we're on video 3 here. We have explored the different component parts of the yo-yo. We've looked at gluing together. We've also looked at how to use the centre lathe properly to skim the rough edges, the rough circles. We're now on the final part of the finishing process. We're going to be using wet and dry sandpaper. The wet and dry paper is rubbed on the edge of the acrylic to take any final imperfections away. Now you'll notice here that the wet and dry paper is being used wet. The purpose of using the paper wet is so that the water will wash away any of the acrylic dust that clogs up the grit. This will basically keep the piece of paper working much more effectively on our edge, hopefully cut down on the workload. Having thoroughly wet and dried it, and having finally got an edge that feels as smooth as a kitten, we're then going to be ready to polish it. So we're going to be using a polishing machine for this, and it's really important to consider now the safety warning that's attached to that machine. You'll notice on top of the machine it talks about the need to tie hair back, to wear goggles and wear an apron. The apron is basically there because we're worried about you getting your ties caught on the polishing machine. If you're wearing an apron, obviously that tie's tucked away. You could alternatively tuck your tie into your shirt so that it's not loose. Okay, it's important to keep your hair out of the way and to wear goggles. Because the machine has a revolving part, there is a danger of things getting fired out of the machine. It's important to note where or in what position you hold the acrylic onto the polishing machine, because this is something that some people get wrong. If you look at the end of it, you should be holding the acrylic in the position indicated here, which is a sort of 5 o'clock on a clock face type position. It's not right on the front, it's not right underneath, it's in between that. Okay. The acrylic, you'll notice, is being done in a batch. So in order to cut down queuing on the machine, you should organise it within your group so that someone then has the responsibility for polishing these up. And you'll notice that the dowel's still in place to hold the whole thing. So if we start the machine, then going to place the acrylic lightly up against the edge of the wheel. If you push the acrylic too hard onto the polisher, you will simply, through friction, melt a lump out of the side of the acrylic, and again you won't be able to put that back on, and it will create a lot of work because you'll have to go back to the lathe, re-skim the edge, re-wet and dry it, and then polish it again. So a lovely light touch is required. And what you should get, with very little effort, if you've done a proper skimming and wet and drying, is an absolutely perfect and gleaming edge with not very much work. Hopefully you can see the light streaks now on that edge. That's what we're looking for. Okay, remember, in terms of national curriculum levels, your product has to be absolutely perfect and